Hello ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to this video, a very warm welcome to another video of mine. Well, today I'm gonna talk about the planet Mars in the Pushya Nakshatra. From the 16th of May 2023 until 8th of June 2023, planet Mars is gonna be in the Pushya Nakshatra. And Mars at this point in time will be in a debilitated sign. I mean in the Cancer sign, in a weak position. Mars is gonna remain weak during this time when Mars is in the Pushya Nakshatra. I mean in the Cancer sign. And the Pushya Nakshatra belongs to the planet Saturn. Saturn and Mars have a different ideology. They are quite different in their nature. And Saturn and Mars share a very complicated relationship with each other. Both do great when in a friendly sign or involved in a Parivartan yoga. But in an enemy sign, they wreak havoc in a person's life. Saturn is cold and slow and Mars is hot and fast. Saturn loves patience while Mars loves action. Saturn prefers solitude while Mars prefers warmth and company of friends. Saturn is calm but revengeful, while Mars is angry but forgiving. They are quite opposite and don't get along with each other very well. So at this point in time, Mars will be in the Pushya Nakshatra. Well, seeing the planetary positions and the constellations during this time, I want to tell you all something today. That at this point in time, there is a strong chance of you making a mistake in your life. And whenever you make a mistake in your life, you need to hold your head up. Every one of us makes mistakes in our lives. And the intelligent person, the wise person is that who learns from his or her mistakes. And not only an intelligent person should learn from his mistakes, he or she should learn from others' mistakes. That would be the most intelligent thing for you to do in this life, where others make mistakes and you learn from them. Whenever you make a mistake, you need to learn from those mistakes. So at this point in time when Mars is in the Pushya Nakshatra, you can make a blunder. You can make a mistake in your life, in your business, in your job, in your relationships, in regard to your health at this point in time. But you need to hold your head up after you've made that mistake. You need to be conscious at this point in time that you don't make a mistake and you regret for it later. Well, what I'm trying to tell you all is prevention is better than cure. Well, you might not be able to do this at this point in time when Mars is in the Pushya Nakshatra. I mean, you are bound to make a mistake. Well, if you think that you're going to do an important thing at this point in time, if you are gonna take an important decision at this point in time, then don't do so at this point in time, because your decision at this point in time may not be the right decision for you. And there is a possibility of you making a mistake at this point in time. You need to see your mistakes as an investment and you need to learn from those mistakes at this point in time. You need to grow through your mistakes at this point in time. So this would be a learning phase for you. And if you make that mistake, you need to hold your head up at this point in time. Well, who doesn't make mistakes in his or her life? Everyone does. You and me. Everyone in this world is bound to make a mistake when he or she is trying to do something. Nobody is perfect in this world. This world itself is imperfect. So how can you expect to do everything perfect in this imperfect world? The world is ever evolving, and in this evolving world, we will always make mistakes. So there is nothing to be ashamed of if you make a mistake at this point in time. The thing is that you need to acknowledge your mistakes at this point in time. You need to be apologetic about your mistakes at this point in time. if you are not apologetic about your mistakes, then you will never learn from those mistakes. So if you make a mistake, at this point in time, you need to rectify it. You need to make amends for those mistakes which you make during this time. Well, for example, if you shout at your spouse at this point in time, you need to say sorry to them, even if it hurts your ego at that point in time. If you make a bad investment at this point in time, in the first place, I'd recommend you all not to take any sort of major decisions during this time in regard to any sort of investment. But if you are compelled to make that investment at this point in time, and if things go wrong, you need to rectify them later on. Well, if things go wrong, don't go with them. If you make an error in your job, then you need to acknowledge your mistakes in front of your superiors and bosses, and you need to carry on with that job during this time. Well, during this time, you need to remain calm. You need to remain tranquil at this point in time. Don't lose your temper at this point in time, because Mars in the Saturn's nakshatra gives a tendency for people to get angry. So at this point in time, you need to remain calm. Anger is the wind that blows the lamp of your mind. So make sure you don't get angry with anyone at this point in time, because this could spoil your future prospects in that job, in that business, in that relationship. You might not feel the effect of that anger immediately, but you can feel the effect of that anger later on when Mars leaves the Pushya Nakshatra. So don't do anything which can spoil your good future, your bright future at this point in time. It is always advisable to maintain your tranquility at this point in time. The other thing which I want to tell you all is, don't let the world cower down you at this point in time. Don't let them dictate you at this point in time. Don't let other people call the shots in your life at this juncture. You need to do the things which you feel you should do. You need to take your own decisions. You need to follow your heart at this point in time. Even if you make that mistake, that is alright, because you are gonna learn from those mistakes if you make one during this time. Well, in life, you must learn how to play with the waves. If you are in an ocean and the waves are high, you need to duck under them. And if the waves are low, you need to jump over them. So at this point in time, you need to maneuver your life in such a way that you don't get injured by life at this point in time, injured by the people around you at this point in time. If you follow others at this point in time, you are not gonna be successful. You need to follow your heart at this point in time and stop complaining at this point in time. Don't whine and moan and groan at this point in time. Don't complain about life at this point in time. You shouldn't be like that rock on which the waves are lashing at it. If you stand still like that rock, the waves are gonna hit you black and blue. Well, your complaints are not gonna solve the problems. Your action will. If you complain, if you moan and groan, more and more problems and difficulties you are gonna create for yourself. The things which you focus on multiplies. So don't focus and give words to your troubles. Don't complain about your problems and difficulties at this point in time. If you give thoughts and words to your trouble, it doubles. So avoid doing that at this point in time. Don't make excuses at this point in time. Don't say that just because that hasn't happened, I won't do that. Don't make silly excuses for not doing what you are supposed to do at this point in time. Excuses sound best to those who make them. So don't make excuses in your life, because if you make excuses, that means you are not ready to face life. That means you are not ready to face the fiery furnaces of this world. There will be problems and difficulties in everyone's life. So what's new about it? The main thing is that you need to maneuver those problems and difficulties in your life and move forward. No problem, no difficulty in this world can stop you if you have the will to move forward. If you are determined, if you are adamant on doing certain things in your life, then even the universe is gonna step aside from that road which is taking you towards your destination. And you need to understand at this point in time that consistency is important. You need to remain consistent at this point in time. I mean, don't do a thing for a day or two and then leave it. If you have made up your mind to do a certain thing, then make sure you do it. What I'm trying to tell you is that don't take a step forward and two steps backwards. Once you decide to do on a certain thing, please go ahead with your ideas and plans. In life, consistency is the key. A laborer doesn't know when that rock would break which he is hammering on. That laborer doesn't know when that rock would break, but still he hammers that rock continuously, not knowing when that rock is gonna break. But he has that belief, he has that faith that if he continuously hammers that rock, at some point in time that rock would break. So your consistency and your belief on what you are doing at this point in time is of paramount importance. It is that laborer's consistency which makes the rock break. Nothing is perfect in this world, and if you are looking for perfection in this world, then you are sadly mistaken. No moment in this life is perfect. It is you who has to seize the moment and make it perfect. The seashore will always have waves. If you are waiting for the perfect seashore, then that seashore is not gonna be seen by you in this life. So there will be always waves in that ocean, in the ocean of life. And you need to maneuver that waves with your intelligence, with your hard work, with your skills. And that is the challenge of life. That is why a human being has been given intelligence and mind to overcome his problems and difficulties. And that is how a human being grows. This life is called an unavoidable suffering. So you have to go through the trials and tribulations, the pains and sufferings of your life if you have to achieve something meaningful in this life, if you want to see success in this life. I haven't seen anyone successful in this world who hasn't passed through the trials and tribulations of this life. Most of us don't want to feel the pain of rejection. Most of us don't want to face the pain of defeat. Most of us don't want to face the pain of being disappointed. Most of us don't want to face the pain of losing. Most of us don't want to face the pain of failure. We don't want to be criticized by anybody. We don't want to face the pain of not being liked. And hence we avoid things in our life. We don't want to face the pain of rejection and losing, etc., etc., etc. And hence we don't want to do anything in our life. We don't want to do things in our life which other people would criticize us for. We are too bothered about others. We are too bothered about the other people. We are too bothered about this world and less concerned about ourselves. And that is the tragedy of this human life. But let me tell you that there is pain everywhere. You can't duck from that pain. If you hide under a table, your pain will come there. I repeat, if you hide under your table or behind a door, it is gonna come there. So if you can't avoid pain and suffering in your life, you need to face it head on. You need to confront your pains and sufferings. If you face something relentlessly, that thing is gonna vanish from your life. If you are adamant about defeating your pains and sufferings, then you are gonna emerge a winner in your life. Well, this is all I wanted to tell you all about Mars in Pushya Nakshatra. If you want some specific predictions about yourself, then you may contact me directly. Well, like I always say, that if you wish to know your future through astrology and you are determined to live the best possible version of yourself, well, one must always try to live his or her best version of themselves, because there is only one life to live. There are no duplicates of a life. You will never get a chance to live this beautiful life once again. And if you want to enhance your luck in your life, if you want to boost your luck in your life, if you want to increase and improve your luck in your life, then I want to tell you all, I have several remedies for you. You know, these remedies which I'm talking about are a fusion of astrological remedies, Vastu remedies and religious remedies, which can be utilized by any person of any religion. Because I believe that there is only one God in this universe. And if you want me to pray for you, because prayer can move mountains. So if you want me to pray for your health, wealth, success, money, business, career, job, relationships, love relationships, marriage, married life, children, property, education, etc., 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 then also you may contact me. You may also contact me for a Vastu visit of your flat, office, residence or factory. Or if you want one instrument which can solve all your Vastu problems, that one instrument which can solve all your Vastu problems of your factory, home, office, house, etc., 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 then also you may contact me. And if you are hell-bent on taking your life from the ridiculous to the sublime, from the low point to the high point, from nothing to something, then you may contact me over WhatsApp. My WhatsApp number has been given on this video. Have a great day and a great life ahead. God bless you all. Jai Mata Di. Jai Ma Kali.